booktube. It has been a literal 6 months since I last posted a video, so I suspect some of you have probably given up on me by now. I haven't actually abandoned this channel, it's just that life got in the way more than expected over the past little while, but I'm hoping that this is the beginning of a more regular posting schedule. I've still been reading plenty of Aussie books, so I've got lots to choose from and lots to talk about over the next few videos. Some of you may remember back in March I set myself the challenge of reading all the books on the 2019 Children's Book Council of Australia's notables list. I actually only ended up reading 8 of the 40 books, plus starting a few others and losing interest in them. The thing is, I'm a really eclectic mood reader, and the majority of the books on those lists were contemporaries in one way or another, whether they were mysteries or coming of age or whatever. If I had just tried to power through the entire notables list, I would have sent myself straight into a reading slump. Obviously there's nothing wrong with any individual contemporary in and of itself. It's just that I like to mix it up a bit. It's actually interesting, I do think this is indicative of a wider trend in Australian publishing, and particularly when it comes to publishing awards. The Australian industry tends to be very literary focused, very contemporary focused, unless you're already an established author. If you're writing outside those bounds, then readers have to look a bit harder, which is a huge shame because Australian genre fiction writers have a lot to offer. And of course I'm not saying that there's no spec fic or romance or any other genre fiction being written and published in Australia, because of course there is. It's just that I wish it got the recognition that it deserves. But anyway, there's not much I can do about that. So I gave up on the challenge, that's okay, nobody's worried. Let's look forward now. I've been reading some really fun Australian books over the last little while, including Monuments by Will Kostakis. I went to the book launch for this one and Will was really entertaining, really fun to listen to, so I'll talk about that in another video. I've also been reading a series of steampunk novellas set in Melbourne called The Antics of Evangeline. I'd show you the cover for that, but I've only got the ebook and it's way too sunny out here, you won't be able to see it. Coming up on my reading list I have another Will Kostakis, The First Third, which is one of his contemporaries, and To Flash by Melissa Lukashenko, who is an Indigenous author. This is one of her YA books. I've also got this massive tome. It's called Illumination, and it's the third book in the Curse of the Bond Riders series by Karen Brooks. I read the first 2 books in the trilogy. I actually listened to the audiobooks, but then as I started the audiobook for this one and it was 30 hours long, and I just don't have the attention span for an audiobook that long. So even though it's something like, 656 pages, and the print's pretty small, now that I've got my hands on a physical copy, that's the way I intend to finish the series. So, as you can see, plenty of fun stuff coming up, and I'm looking forward to chatting with you about it. See you in the next video. Bye!